Welcome to the Live Wide Open podcast. I'm your host, Randy B. Ramirez, also known as Wide Open Randy, and I'm here to lead you to become the best version of yourself. This show helps raise the bar for other motorsport enthusiasts, those who want more out of life, those who want to do more, those who want to be more, those who love the thrill, the joy, and the connection of what these high performance engines bring into our lives. Because holding it wide open is just what we do. Being a great fucking person is who we are, and living our lives to the fullest is the lifestyle that we choose. Man, today we're going to be talking about our passion for motorcycles. Like, if you enjoy the two wheels, man, let me tell you that this episode is for you, my friend. So I have one question that I want to ask you, right? Are you riding or are you hiding? Today's topic came to mind when I was trying to implement what's happening in my life into episodes that I learn and can evolve from. And really, today's episode, it came to mind when one of my friends invited me to go out for a ride recently, right? And literally, his text message was simple and to the point. And it was just like that question I just asked you. He goes, "Are you riding or are you hiding?" Man, and let me tell you this, like, I wanted to ride so fucking bad. I really did. I haven't rode in such a long time. And I wanted to pull out, man. I wanted to give myself that much needed throttle therapy, right? But unfortunately, when he fucking reached out to me and wanted to go ride, man, I definitely, I couldn't, man. And I'm definitely not proud to admit this, but it is what it is. I'm here to always speak the truth, and I'm always to help, whatever experience I'm going through to help others evolve and connect more and elevate as men, right? Lately, it seems like I've been hiding a lot. Like, and I don't want to hide. I want to ride, but it's just how it be sometimes, right? And it's not because I don't want to ride, but because I've just been focused on other areas, right? Like with so many projects that I have going on right now in my life, like my spare time is just really limited now with what I have available time. With more than ever right now, my spare time is very limited, and so any spare time that I've had on my schedule, right? Like I really dedicated to two things, right? To finish the loose ends that I have around my house. We're working on some remodels, and late at night, usually is when I dedicate the time to this, is bringing my Turbo Camaro back to life. I've been working on that. I've been doing a motor swap, kind of getting things ready, and those are the kind of two things that I've really been focusing on, right? And perhaps maybe you're in a similar situation as me, like maybe not specifically with those tasks, but perhaps you haven't gone riding in what feels like forever too, right? So well then, like my brother, today's episode as a sign to start making time for that throttle therapy, right? And this goes for me too. Like sometimes I take these messages personally and I put out what I need to hear so that we can all level up, right? And the funny thing about making the time to go ride is that with all the commitments that we have going on right now in life, like sometimes it feels like setting that time aside, like it truly does. It feels like it's a chore, like, oh man, like, oh, you have to set a time for ride. You have to set a time. But here's the thing, and I know this because I've experienced this multiple times in the past. And I'm probably sure I'm going to keep experiencing this more times in the future because I just like to get a lot of shit done. And I like to put a lot on my plate. And I like to go and I like to stay busy and I like to get shit done. And that's how you fucking level up, right? It feels like a chore when you have to fucking make time to go ride, right? But as soon as you go riding, man, all the life problems, they just seem to go away. Like, man, I get in the zone and I start to tell myself, like, bro, what took you this long to get back on the fucking bike? I really do, because the bike is my getaway. The bike is my passion. And I've had this passion since I was a little kid, right? And maybe you have it too. Then for sure that you know what I'm talking about. You know how it feels. You know the connection that you get with that motorcycle, right? Like when you twist the throttle, that sound of the engine revving up, like the vibrations that come from the motorcycle as the engine makes power, as the RPMs build up, when you fucking bounce that shit off the limiter, like right, like the G forces that you get when you get on the throttle hard, especially if you have a powerful bike and it fucking pulls you back and you gotta hold on good, or even when you hit the brakes, right? And you gotta hold yourself up. You get some G forces when you're hitting the brakes too. Man, that feeling for me, and I know probably for you too, it's like no other, right? And no doubt, girl, I love cars. I'm a huge car guy, and I forever will be a car guy, right? But motorcycles, man, I fucking love motorcycles. Those shits. man, they just make my blood boil, right? Like they make my heart beat fast. Like they're like my go-to medicine whenever like everything feels like it's falling apart. I can always just ride my motorcycle and just fucking just pull away, just disconnect, just fucking decompress. That's why I call it throttle therapy, right? I don't think I'll ever go again. Like never, for sure. I'm gonna dedicate that shit. Like without ever owning a motorcycle again in my life, right? Like I did it once before, and it got me ahead. I needed to do it at that point in my life, right? But I'll never fucking do it again, right? Because I went so long without riding it. And when I started riding again, I was like, yo, what the fuck? What was I missing? What was I thinking? Could have just fucking pulled this shit off, right? And so now, like right now, we have four of them in our house, right? Like between my wife and I, like we have the JSXR 1000R, we have the Kawasaki 636, the ZX6R, and we have two Groms, right? And soon we're gonna have one more so that my wife has something big on to ride on, right? Because one of the Groms is hers, and she used to ride the 1000R back when my Kawi was running, right? But like the truth is that I want to keep my Kawi like a fully stunted out stunt bike, right? So getting another stalker so that we can both like really enjoy riding, going fast, and going on long rides is a must, right? But I guess all in due time, right? We'll get there, right? So for now, we just gotta fucking be grateful. I always try to be grateful. I always try to see how far we've come. There was a time where I didn't have a motorcycle. And there was a time where I only had one. And there was a time where I only had two. And then we got three. And then now we have fucking four, right? Keep fucking building the fleet. And I plan to have way more than four, right? But for now, like I said, I would just focus on the ones we have, on being grateful for how far we've come, and to just enjoying it, right? Like being fucking like just satisfied with where you are, but still wanting to chase more. Because if you're always chasing that horizon, you're never gonna be really satisfied, right? And so I had mentioned that my Kawi was not running, right? But it only needs like a few more parts for it to be fully operational, right? And I haven't ripped that thing. And I was thinking the other day, I was looking through some pictures, and I haven't ripped that thing since I broke my right scapula, like fucking right shoulder. That shit was fucking brutal, right? The crazy thing is, it's already been a year and a half already. I can't believe that bike has been down for so fucking long. But since that crash, like I really just focused on recovering. I'm getting better. I'm getting fucking stronger. And I actually feel like I'm stronger now than I was before that accident, right? And because I used it to fucking build me up. It didn't break me, I guess, because physically it did break me. It broke my scapula in half. But I fucking used it to come back stronger. The comeback is always fucking stronger than the setback. If you have that mindset, you will always level up. You will always become stronger. You will always fucking just find ways to fucking be a better man, be a better leader, become the best version of yourself, right? And so once I recovered, to start getting good, what I started doing, I started collecting parts little by little because that crash was pretty hardcore. And then, started collecting parts little by little, ones that I need to get my bike back up and running, right? And the truth is that if I really wanted to keep her Street Fightered out, I could technically ride her right now, right? And Street Fighter Out, if you're not familiar with that, it means no bike, it means naked with no fairings, right? But I really like the fairing, full fairing look. This is like what attracts me, and I like it way a lot more. And I'm not gonna fucking take it out until I have some full fairings, right? And so I have really two major components left, right? Technically, I have three. I was thinking about this the other night. I need a new headlight. I need a full set of plastics, a new set of fairings, and I need a cage. You know, but technically, I don't need the cage to ride, but you want the cage. You want to protect the investment. It's a stunt bike. I know as soon as I pull it out, I'm going to fuck. I've been doing circle wheelies and all this shit. So it's a must that I get it done, right? And I need to get those things because when I fucking went down, it was pretty brutal. I fucking broke all the plastics. I broke the headlight. I bent the cage. I did all that shit, right? But she'll be back soon. She'll be back in due time, let's say, right? Because I would really like to get her back really soon. But like I told you, my focus is on getting my Turbo Camaro back up and running, and so any funds of allocation are going straight to that, right? But in the meantime, I'll just keep riding the Suzuki, the GSX-R 1000R, man. That's actually been my favorite bike of all time. Always recommend it. I'm actually trying to get one of my buddies to fucking jump on one. One of my buddies that we met in the dealership back when I got my first GSX-R. It was a GSX-R 600. It was a 2004 model. We met at the dealership and we became best of buddies since then, right? But this fucking Suzuki, this GSXR 1000R is like, oh, it's my favorite bike of all time. I always recommend it to everyone. It's fucking powerful, it's nimble, and damn, she fucking looks good, man. Like, so the reason why, I got back into the Gixxer game is because my first street bike was a GSXR 600, 2004 model, as I was saying, right? And that bike is actually the bike that I learned most of my tricks on. Like, that's when I learned to do circle wheelies. That's when I learned to do coasters. That's when I learned to do limiters. That's when I learned to do all the stuff that when I picked back up another bike, it was just like fucking like clockwork, right? And through the evolution of stunt riding, right? That bike went through many phases. I fell a lot. I learned a lot, and I ended up just getting rid of it because I was like, yo, I was just in a different phase in my life, right? And after that, what I did is I bought which is funny that I went backwards. I was just thinking about it. After the Gixxer, I bought a fully stunted F4i after that. Then I got rid of it, and then that's when I was with no motorcycle for a while. Climbing the corporate ladder, hitting the hard work, hustling. That is what it is. You have to do it. You have to get ahead on life, right? And after that, that's when I was like, yo, no more without a bike. I need to fucking get a bike. And that's when I got the Kawi, the ZX6R, no, the 636, right? And then after that, I was like, yo, it was a stunt bike. I wanted something to go fast. I knew some guy who had 1000s, and I was like, yo, it's time to add a 1000 to the fleet, right? And then I was a big Kawi guy, and I almost bought the fucking Kawi. I almost bought the 1000, the Kawi, and I was looking for the R model, the RR model, and I was like, oh, that's my initials, Randy Ramirez. Fucking makes sense. It has to be mine. That RR model is super expensive, a lot more than the GSXR 1000R, right? And then I was looking through some, and then I was like, bro, but they were all convincing me, oh, get the Gixxer, get the Gixxer, get the Gixxer. And man, fucking man, I'm so glad that I didn't get that Kawi, the 1000. And then I got the fucking Gixxer because the Gixxer feels right at home. That's where I started, and I love that bike. And it really was the color that attracted me. I was like looking through bikes, and when I saw the color, the gray with the blue wheels and all that shit, I was like, oh, this is the one. I knew it. When you find something like that and you feel that feeling, as soon as I found it, that same day I called the dealer, yo, this and that. Fucking went and I got it that same day. I remember it like it was yesterday. Went with my wife, drove that bitch back home. I fucking love that bike, right? I highly recommend you get that bike, right? It's truly one of my favorite bikes. It is my favorite bike that I've ridden so far, right? And I say so far because as bikes evolve, as shit gets better, as shit gets faster, you never know what's coming up ahead, right? But as of right now, that's my favorite bike of all time, right? So what about you? Like, what do you ride? What's been your favorite bike of all time, right? Like, and most importantly, what we're talking about today in today's episode is when was the last time you went out for a rip? When was the last time you had some throttle therapy in your life? When is the last time you hooked up with the buddies and just fucking went and ripped it? Just went and hung out, right? Like literally, as I'm going through this episode, I'm literally getting the itch to fucking ride. Like it's just getting bigger and bigger. I'm like, yo, when are we gonna fucking ride? It's like I want to go ride right now. Like I literally want to go ride right now, man. To fucking pop that clutch. Fucking love that. As soon as every time I go ride, man, I leave, pull out of my neighborhood. Well, I usually go very chill until I get out of the neighborhood. Test the brake a couple times for them, and first thing I do, and people are like, yo, you're crazy, ease into it. And I was like, no, I go straight into it because I get over that fear every single time. Pop the clutch, throw the bike straight to balance point, and I fucking hit that limiter a couple times. And I put it down, I'm like, yeah! I fucking get in the zone. I love that shit. That shit makes my fucking blood boil, man. I fucking love rev limiter coasters, man. Those shits are my one, like, aside from stoppies, I would say stoppies. I love that trick. Rev limiter coasters, though, is one of my favorite tricks. Rev limiter coasters and stoppies, those things fucking make my blood boil. But every single time I pull out of the neighborhood, every single time I get on my bike, literally pull out of the neighborhood, go slow, go past the guardhouse, get out, and then as soon as I hit the first straightaway, whoa, straight to balance point. Put it down, I'm like, yeah. And I just go, I get in the zone. It fucking boils me, man. Like, it fucking makes me so happy, right? So how about you? What about you? Like, when is the last time you rode? When are you gonna go ride? What, like, no, and if you don't have a bike, when are you gonna get a bike, right? Like, and if you do have a bike, what about, like, what is your favorite trick, like, that you do when you're riding your motorcycle, right? It could be anything. And to be 100% transparent, if you can't do anything, know that there's no shame. Excuse me, there's no shame in that either. Like, it really isn't. Like, man, I have plenty of friends who love to ride but who don't do any tricks, and I respect that, right? Maybe you're like a go fast type of rider. That's definitely not me. I have some friends that can't do no tricks, but they'll fucking leave me so behind that I'm like, yo, that's all you, buddy. I respect that and I give it to you, right? Maybe that's like you, or maybe you're a cruiser type of rider, right? Ain't no room for fucking hate around here. I support all kinds of riding, man. I really do. I love the love and the passion that I have for motorcycles. It's something that runs deep inside my family. Not just me, but my whole entire family. Right? And just because I don't have a cruiser at the moment doesn't mean that I don't plan to add one to the fleet either. Just gotta find some space in the garage and put another bike. And the one I want is fucking pretty big. Like, I want some type of Harley bike. Is what I'd like to get. I went to look at them about a year back. I actually went to look at them before I bought my Gixxer 1000, and I was on the side between getting a cruiser and getting the 1000 on. I was like, I'll get the 1000 and then I'll get the cruiser later, right? And I was looking at two of them, either the Street Glide or the Road Glide, because man, you got the music pumping, and I was just picturing. I was like, go with the wife, hang out to the beach, go down to the Keys, like, man, music pumping, hair right, like wind in their face, like, it's so fucking dope, right? Like, eventually it'll happen. But really, as long as it's two wheels, I'm with it, bro. I really am. I love motorcycles. And shit, actually, you know what? Let me clarify that. Even if you don't ride two wheels, if it's three wheels that is your thing, yeah, you're welcome to fucking hang too. We're about it. We love the passion for motorcycles. It's really something that we all share. Like, and I say that because, man, I have some guys that are ride with some three wheelers too. Like, man, for example, my pops is like, he's midway to 80. He's like 84, 85, maybe something like that. And he has a three wheeler and he rides. And he got a three wheeler because he used to have a Harley. He used to have an old school Harley, and it just got too heavy for him. And then his wife wouldn't get on the back because he's like, no, that's just. So he was like, you know what? I'm gonna solve this problem. He went and he ended up. Now he gave the Harley to my brother, but before he had that Harley in his garage, he would fucking turn it on every day. That shit was gangster. I fucking love seeing that. The old man still has that passion. That's where I get it from, right? But now he has a Can-Am, right? And he rides that thing all the time. Motorcycles are genuinely a true part of our family, right? They bring us together. So how about you? Right? Does your family ride too? Right? And when was the last time you pulled out with them? When was the last time you bonded? When was the last time you hung out? Right? Actually, bro, talking about all this fucking motorcycle talk, you know what, man? It has me really itching to ride. It has me wanting to go fucking turn my shit on. It has me wanting to go and fucking get a couple wheelies in. It has me going just go and fucking bond with that shit. Right? And I'm gonna go ahead and just wrap this episode up right now because I'm gonna go pull out my 1000 hard. Right? And if you're in South Florida, specifically in the Miami area, hit me up, bro. Let's connect. One down, five up, baby. Let's roll. Yo, I'm driving the checkered flag deep into the ground, and I'm calling all the motorsport enthusiasts who want to improve their situation. Let's break free from all the shit that's been holding us back and become the badass motherfuckers that we're meant to be. Breaking the stereotype is exactly what we're here to do. This movement is called Live Your Life Wide Open, and helping others level up is the mission that God has tasked us with. Join me on this journey where we empower our people to do more and to be more. Man, and by any chance you still haven't subscribed, go ahead and smash that button so you never miss another episode. And if you connected with today's message, if you're about motorcycles, if you share the passion, if you know someone who shares the passion too, man, go ahead and send this to them or post it on your story. Make sure you tag me at Wide Open Randy, because those are the actions that can help more gearheads to see and to hear about this podcast. And ultimately, that's how our community grows. I'll catch up with you on the next episode. But till then, live your life wide open, my friend. Peace.